Hello and welcome to this best of three series between Enticity and xNavigator. So super excited to also add Enticity into the league. Very much looking forward to see what he can do. Be sure to like and subscribe for more games and let's get into it. So today we have a Norsca versus a Beastmen matchup. And this is, if there was ever an Enticity build, this is basically one of them. And we have a Wind Blast, we have Sail, basically with Wind Blast. Wind Blast has the Windstruck debuff, so he wants to win the mobility. And if you look at the entire rest of the army, it is just mobility. So it is Skin Wolves, a ROR Chimera, and basically 5 Marauder Horsemen, with Sail and the Skin Wolves basically going to the side objective to try and capture that one, while the mobility starts trading for the rest of the map. It is a classic build that he really loves to go on like his stream. So let's see how Navi deals with it. On the other side, we actually have 2 Centigors fully deployed in the Vanguard point to actually go and try steal Ant's back objective. And we have a front line of Zangors and Goreherd, which again makes sense. These guys are silver shielded. They have a high amount of HP. They have magic damage. So everything here is very nice for them. We also see a Gorbel. Gorbel is great fighter. Anti-large. You know that Ant is going to bring something that is large against you. So why not go for a Gorbel? Also, Malagor, classic stuff with Doom and Darkness, because he wants to potentially break one of the horsemen, and then a Penumbral Pendulum going in for that. We also see a couple of the debuffs that Malagor usually doesn't take, so this is cool. Isle of Vilification, so he knows, oh, this is a cool counter tech though, right? So he basically knows that that Ant likes to break some boxes and also terror route some stuff. So he is actually bringing in Malagor with a buff that gives leadership to all allied units at a high rate. And because like stuff on the side of Beastmen isn't really the best when it comes to their leadership, if he just keeps Malagor very close to them, they're just not going to break to terror routing. We also see a double Centigor side, so trying to basically capture his own objective before he moves in. And what is this? A breath. These guys are kind of loose formation, so I don't know, breaths on them. Like, there's nothing else that's good to breath, and all of the other units basically have the same sort of formation. And you're probably not going to be fighting in like a blob at this point. So I really like him using the breaths, because it just means that he's being efficient with his cooldowns, right? This actually has a 90-second cooldown, so there's a bunch of time that he needs to wait, and over the course of like 27 I can't spell in English, Jesus Christ, 270 seconds, he needs to use those 3 breaths to actually get some value. Oh, nasty hit from the Chimera onto Malagor. And another one, oh, he misses that one. You can't let Malagor die. Like, you need to. This is a very strong fighter. It has 62 attack. It has very high weapon strength. Malagor is a squishy unit. If you, for 1 second, take the unit of Malagor and not have it properly microed, it can get sniped by the Chimera, and then you're kind of fucked. Because even though you have a bunch of mobility that can potentially trade with Ent's mobility, he is definitely going to be a difficult cookie to crack, especially with 3 Skin Wolf units. So he basically summoned in another Skin Wolf, and a 4th one is coming in too. What a crazy, a classic crazy thing. So even though you have like 4 Centigors throwing axes, 1, the Centigors have a bit less range than these other units, and 2, you still have Skin Wolves that are very much stronger in the fight for the mobility and also have regeneration, so they actually can potentially be surrounded. Very nice disengage from the Skin Wolves here, and a recharge on the back, which Navi didn't expect on these types of Skin Wolves. All the while, he basically came into the back objective just to relieve pressure from himself and just capture that objective. He also gets a Norscan Ice Wolf into here. This is how basically Ant loves to play this game, right? He is a master at picking you apart, right? You, for 1 second, you're like charging in one part of the map, and then your other unit that you left at a certain point of the map just gets shattered because it gets mass charged by the mobility. Also, this Zangor basically getting crumped because it was isolated, though this is a nice play from the Gore Herd being sent onto the back objective to potentially try and get that one, and the Gorbel also being surrounded. Though it is a good fighter, it is not going to win against so many things, especially that can shoot at it. So let's see. And again captures the middle objective, and while he was leaving the Navi to capture his back objective, oh my god, what a last second steal. He keeps his own back objective, and that relieves pressure on himself to actually not be possible to trade. He can just now continue. Ooh, nice breath attack, doing like 20% damage from those Centicore's throwing axes. And Navi is potentially going to move over here. This is a very risky thing that he's doing, because look at this. Like, two Skin Wolves are immediately on the Centicore's asses, and there's also a Norscan Ice Wolf that if this guy hits one of the Centicores, those Centicores will die. And now he has to sacrifice this Gore Herd, actually, because he can't come close to actually defend himself. If he charges with these Centicores, Ent can just countercharge, do a Windstruck, and now these guys are 27 speed, man. You're not gonna be... Oh, that is not one of them. But these guys are now 57 speed, 59 speed, and they're being shot at by 6 freaking Marauder Horsemen or Horsemasters or Javelins. So they're just being shot at. Though, very, very beautiful Doom and Darkness Overcast to actually break the Skin Wolves. What a great play from the side of Navigator. He actually anticipates that he is going to get countercharged, and then just takes it and says, the Skin Wolves are going to have such low leadership here that I'm going to break them, and I'm going to break you over this. So very nice. Also, again, cool wind blast here, just to slow down the rest of the Centigores, so they can't chase down the rest of the Skin Wolves and the Marauder Cab, right? Though currently it is just 2-1 to the objective count, so Ant still has plenty of time, and he just needs to keep Navi away from these Skin Wolves so that they actually don't get pushed off the map. Though he does have a lot of space here, right? And if he overcommits, yeah, he can just countercharge, man. He's not afraid of this. He wasn't fully expecting on the charge, and he just wants to save his Skin Wolves, because as soon as they get out of range of like this, they have a chance to rally, and both of them rally as so, though, and so does the Norscan Skin Wolf. Very nicely played from the side of Ent there to basically save them. Another beautiful breath, basically taking care of the rest of the Centigores in the back. And now this is where Ent gets you, right? Ent gets you perfectly into his own spawn, and you're just stuck summoning in units while you're playing into his spawn where he still has the objective. Or never mind, he actually lost the objective. Ignore that, but he's still gonna recapture that objective with this many units in like 2 seconds. And he just keeps popping those wind blasts like candy. Why? Because everything is going to be slowed here for the Skin Wolves to actually come back in, Norscan Ice Wolves to slow down everything, and then very, very good plays, basically. He even dodges, what a giga chat, he even dodges the Penumbral Pendulum, even though it wasn't going to do any like special amount of damage into here. But yeah, this Overcasted Doom and Darkness isn't gonna cut it this time, because there's not many units to be actually able to break the Skin Wolves this time. Before this, it was a huge blob of units, but look at this. They're just stuck on a Marauder, Bearman, a Slangor, and a Zangor over here. And even though he's kind of reinforcing with his own Manticore, some Gore Herd, and just Centigores coming in, he's just too deep. He is too deep in the opponent's objective. At this point, when he was right here, when he broke those Skin Wolves, the only play that he could have done to potentially keep himself in the game when it comes to Navi is back off. But the problem with that is he's so far behind on general value, and look at this. Shatter, Shatter, Malagor is routed. This is a break and a break, another break. These guys are just gonna break. There's basically 2 units on the battlefield, and I feel like wrong game. And I feel like Navi is going to be tapping out very quickly here, especially because it's not even close on the objectives for the game to be close to the end. And yeah, Skin Wolves surrounding the Manticore. Manticore is about to rampage at like 80% HP. these Skin Wolves and basically going into the Centigores alongside some Norscan Ice Wolves, and it is just a total collapse. A classic Enticity special we have seen here, right? He just outplays you when it comes to mobility, starts picking you off, and then when you get tilted and far behind on the value tracker, you make one misplay, and then he capitalizes perfectly on that one misplay, right? Sail actually doing amazing job, especially just spamming those wind blasts here, right? The wind blasts did amazing, just if not to do damage, just to slow the Centigores so they can be more easily caught from the side of, like, let's say Skin Wolves or the other Marauder Cap. When it comes to the Marauder Cap, basically almost paying for themselves, or combined, all of them basically paid for themselves. Chimera didn't pay for itself, but it doesn't matter. It used all 3 breaths. It did its job. It was a terror source. Very nice. Skin Wolves doing good. Norscan Ice Wolves there to slow down the prey for the Skin Wolves to actually do the damage. He even had another Chimera and a Frost Dragon. Oh my god, I would love to see a Frost Dragon. And actually another horseman. Also 2 bearmen. This is a very nice advent or addition to this build, just because you do need some capture rate at some point, right? If the opponent just goes for a bunch of spears and plays like a box, and you potentially can't break that box for whatever reason, there does need to be something to anchor the pieces of the point. So Malagor actually just getting 75 value. Unfortunate, missing his 1 pendulum. He should have definitely gone for like Flock of Doom. Oof, this is so unfortunate for him. Gorbel did okay. Zangors just moved forward but kind of died and got picked off. The Centigore's throwing axes actually did totally fine, but again, there was just too much mobility for them to do. Centigores got kind of outplayed and just went to the blob fights, and yeah, that is the story of this game, sadly. So 1-0 to Enticity. GG's, and I'll see you in game 2.